Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. All right. Welcome everyone to, I was going to say coaching no code. This is definitely not coaching no code. This is Pro NoCoders episode number, I don't know because Tanya took it away.
154.
154. Thank you. Awesome. And I have a script that Tanya sent me a while ago, but now I can't find it. So I'm just going to pretend that I'm saying the script right now. Here we are. Okay, so I'm the host, Justin, and I'm here with our members, and we're going to get started in just a moment. But if this is your first time turning into office hours, we do this every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and Tuesdays, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And what we do is invite our members to come onto Zoom, which we broadcast live, and ask any bubble question, and we try our best to answer it. Of course, we can't answer all the questions because we don't know everything, but we promise you won't suffer alone. And we get it right most of the time. If you'd like to join us for a complimentary session, you can sign up for free at pronocoders.com and click the Office Hours tab in the member portal. Your first session is on us, and we'll do what we can to answer your bubble questions. All right, let's get started. Brittany, so you want to hit us with your question today? Is it Stripe integration again?
No. Well,
okay.
No. I have two separate questions, but
Okay.
This first question doesn't have anything to do with Stripe. So, so right here, I'm trying to, well, as of right now, I only have it showing, this is my inbox messaging feature. And I only have this showing the time. So what the issue is, like, all of these are like maybe like a week old or something, but it's still only showing the time. So I'm trying to figure out how to change from the time within a conditional to when the creation date is after a day old. I wanted to show the date instead of the time.
Okay. Sounds good.
Or maybe both, if that's possible.
So that I could see answering this question in two different ways. I can show you how to set up the conditional. It's pretty simple. Or you can install the plugin called Relative Time, and it will give you like how long ago it was sent, and it's really easy setup.
Cool. So let's go here.
It's actually made by AirDev. It's called Relative Time. It's just a super simple plugin that will just change the date time into like an hour ago or a day ago or 5 days ago or 3 months ago, like whatever. Yeah, right there. Relative time. I believe there's one right from AirDev actually.
Oh, that's not it. Okay.
Maybe that one's a private plugin that's only on Canvas. No, it can't be. They can't put that. Let's start with the top one should work. Let me just double check if the name of it is Relative Time. Tanya, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Finally, I have internet again.
Catastrophic internet failure, hey?
Yep.
All right. Do you remember the name of the Relative Time plugin for the AirDev uses on Canvas?
I do not. I've never used it.
Super useful. Here, I'm checking.
Yeah, it probably is. I just like doing things the hard way. So.
Don't we all? No, I see Relative Time. Come on. What is it called? Time. I wonder if that person stopped working for Canvas and they took it back.
Ooh.
I wonder if that was Maria's plugin. No, it would have saved Maria on it. Canvas, is it Canvas Utilities?
If you find an AirDev one, you can go to can't you go to their like plugin developer page and see all of their plugins?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
No, like
I don't see it.
Oh, we're looking at Brittany's screen.
Yeah, this is sorry.
Yeah, that's not my screen. Time. Okay. Maybe I'm misremembering. I know I've used it before though. I definitely have used it before. Let's go ahead and just install the moment.js one. That one will work too. I've used that one as well.
Where is it? This one?
Relative time format. Yeah.
Okay. So how do let's see.
So I think
Again,
the way, if you go back to the plugin, I can't recall how this one does it, but it says there's an element called relative time format. You see the
right
element right
here.
there? So you're going to be looking for that element. Yeah.
Okay,
Relative time
gotcha.
format.
Okay.
So there should be on the left side in your elements tree.
Oh, and the elements, got you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there should be one that's relative time that you add to the page.
Here we go.
Yep. And then just drop it inside. Yeah. Right there. Okay. And then you do from date.
Be the creation date.
Believe so, to today.
Huh?
The to date. The to date is the current date and time.
Oh.
Last one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see it. I'm sorry.
Can you click show
moving a little
documentation
slow.
for a moment? I wonder if it's if they want you to reverse it around.
You said show what?
Show documentation under to date. Yeah. Just double checking, making sure that's right. The date to be compared to. Okay, that's not very helpful. Refresh interval. Can you show documentation on the refresh interval? Probably want to leave that blank. Do you want it to refresh? Like if you're on the same page and you come back to it, do you want it to say a minute later? You could make it like 600 or something like that. So every 10 minutes or so it refreshes.
Okay.
And then unit is auto, and then that's it. And then you just have to reference the state. So you go back to that text field. Sorry, to the time, in the bottom right, Yep,
Gotcha.
that one right there. And then change parent group's message, change that to relative time. Time format A's value. And then you can remove the condition. And then let's double check that works.
Okay.
Oh, Thomas is in the room. Didn't see that. Hey, Thomas, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
No, so
So
it's kind of backwards or something.
Yeah, reverse the to date and the from date. Sweet. That should
work.
Yep,
Right?
that should work. Seven days ago.
Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. If that works, then
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. And then thank you, Brittany. We'll come back around, or is your next question very small, Brittany?
Well, my next question is basically, so I have in the system set up where users are being paid, the freelancers are being paid, and I received the email saying that I was paid 40 cents, but it's supposed to be $40. So I know it's something in the flow that I must have done incorrect, maybe divide or multiply something wrong.
Stripe is always dealing in cents. So when you type in, when you put in the value for something, when you're charging something, or when it's returning values, it always returns cents. So you have to multiply by 100.
Right. Oh, I think I was dividing or something. And the reason why I asked this question first, because I had to find the page that I was on. So
okay.
Freelancer, no, it won't be the profile, it will be the settings. Or it's probably in the back end because that's where I have that's auto approve
The payout?
the payout.
Then you have percentage divided by 100.
Multiply.
Okay, offered pay times the percentage.
Yeah, so I'm taking Tanya helped me do this.
Yeah, this is my math.
Yeah.
It probably looks crazy. Maybe there's more, well, not maybe, there's probably a lot more elegant. So actually what it was is Juan worked on setting up her Stripe stuff, and the app fees that he was keeping like as 6.5,
Mhm.
and it's supposed to be 6.5%. So this is just me playing with the math to get the amount to the freelancer right.
Okay, when you divide by 100, so it's doing your offered pay.
Mhm.
Okay, and then times if it's 6.5, and then you're dividing by 100. Okay, so you're getting, okay, so you're getting 0.065 of that, times -1.
But this is saving the amount in the payout. Where we need to be looking for the charge is where the actual charging the card is happening, and then multiply that by 100.
Okay, so where am I? Send money. This is sending. No. Yes. No.
Do you know, is it is it when you're transferring to the seller, or is it something else? Like,
okay, hold on. I think
When you're charging the business,
Yeah.
that's going wrong.
So it's on the approve button because that's when I'm charging them. Charge the user. Here we go. Okay. The amount to charge them, I'm using the parent group's offered paying.
Yeah. And you said it charged you 40 cents when it was supposed to charge you $40?
Well, it's saying that you've been paid. So the only one I'm receiving is the freelancer's payment. You get what I'm saying? So I can check in Stripe to see if this is actually, because this is where it's charging the business owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's no, like, you're not doing the payee of the transaction as another user. Is this a two-sided marketplace, or are you just collecting a fee?
It's both.
Yeah.
It's two-sided marketplace, but she's not paying out the freelancers until later.
Right.
Okay, so you get the whole amount and then you're paying them out after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see.
So basically, this may be right because this is coming from the business owner. It's not going straight to the freelancer. So Stripe may be collecting the right amount. I'm just not sending the right amount to the freelancer. So
That amount field, are you using the bubble plugin?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me just double check, because if you're dealing directly with Stripe, you have to send that value in cents, that whole thing. So let's see. Bubble.io. Yeah, I'll show you the documentation for the Stripe plugin.
Okay.
You can go to the plugins tab and then go to Stripe. And then click reference at the very top right. Scroll up. Yep. Okay, so we have charged the current user. It says enter the amount to be charged. It doesn't say if that's. Click Stripe's documentation, the blue link in the middle. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you have to send it in dollars. Yeah. Amount intended to be collected by the recipient, a positive integer representing how much to charge in the smallest currency unit. So 100 cents to charge $1. So this whole thing you have to multiply by 100.
Okay. So that means,
So in your case, you just don't divide.
right, just
by
leave it.
100.
You would want, you would want to do that. You just, at the very end, you multiply by 100. So after the converted to number, not in there.
Oh, here.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. And then just multiply.
Yeah,
by
100. Yeah. And that'll give you the amount of cents.
Okay. So I'll just need to do that on the other end as well. Got it.
Yeah.
Because this is just going straight to my Stripe. I still have to do it again for when I'm sending the payout. Okay.
Yeah. And make sure
Got
you
it.
test this before you push it to live.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Make sure you test it. Because I know that Bubble I don't know if it was in V2 or like a long time, V1 when I tried it, but the Bubble Stripe integration was allowing you to charge in dollars. And then when you returned it, you got cents, and it was really confusing. So yeah. So just double check that that's working. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. So I'm just going to go in the order that everyone's faces, well, not faces, but their talking heads are. We'll go to Thomas. Do you have any questions for us?
Nope.
No? All good? All right. And then I think we had Calum. Calum, you have any questions for us?
First time in a long time I do. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. I have two sort of questions. So I have one question that I'd like some feedback on, and then one technical question. Feedback would be great if I could get it from everyone. I will share my screen on my mobile. So as some of you may know, I'm creating a social network. I have changed the way that I've laid out posts to this way. It's more centered than the left to right that Facebook and Twitter do. Yeah. I would just love to get people's thoughts on, does it look better or does it look new having it centered, or does it just, should I move it back to the way that Facebook and Instagram do it, where it's left to right, username next to picture kind of thing?
So should you change it where it's left to right, you said?
Yeah, so previously it was, profile picture on the left of the post, and then username next to it, and then all the text was aligned to the left-hand side, left to right. But I'd just love to get people's thoughts on whether, the centered way looks good, or if it's better just going back to the way that Facebook and Instagram do it.
That's great. What do you guys think?
Sorry, Calum, I did a like short course on user interactions and user psychology. And generally they were saying for the start of something, try and keep it familiar before you change it. So my app, I went through and changed to like similar to the whole view that you get on a Mac. So all the icons are the same size as a Mac and everything, and get people used to it before you change it. So that was generally what they were saying. But I mean, is that right? I don't know.
No, I think it makes sense if I'm building a social network. People know how social networking works, and having it, the way that is. I think the reason I tried to change it is because it was looking so much like Facebook that I didn't want it to seem like it was a blatant copy. But I take your point there. Yeah.
Honestly, I would say I probably like that better, because to me that looks like, oh yeah, that looks less cluttered to me for some reason. But yeah, I have to imagine that Twitter and Facebook have so many gazillions of dollars poured into research, and they lay their screen out the way they do for a reason.
So I did this yesterday, and the reason why I changed it was I was thinking Twitter and Instagram, when they were founded, were very much websites. So everything went from left to right. And when they create their apps, they also kind of create them in the same image that their website was. Same with Twitter, same with Facebook. So that's why I thought maybe doing it in the center. But yeah, I take your point. I've taken away some stuff out of here, and I also put in these little buttons down in the bottom right hand corner, which the animation never looks good on Zoom. But
oh,
that's
nice.
Cool.
That's cool.
Nice.
What are you using to get the animations? Is it Bubble native?
Yeah, just Bubble native. So it goes. So there's 3 buttons there. So the bottom one's always visible, and then I do animate up, bounce, pause for 0.02 of a second. Next one 0.02, and then down out as well. I thought it'd be an easier way. It declutters. So I used to have the home button, which is the the square, which is the second one there, up
Yeah.
in the top right-hand corner, but I thought it kind of decluttered it a bit, and it meant that people could access their messaging, and they could write a new post directly from there wherever they were.
Okay. Yeah, I really like that animation. That's really nice. I would say if you're gonna go with like the center version of the post, that it becomes a banner. Like you have a banner at the top. I think that's pretty common, but also like it kind of looks like a profile, right? It reminds me of a profile, less so of a post. Even if you look at the mock-ups, if you just Google like feed UI, I don't think I see a single one on Dribble that isn't the profile on the left side. So it would create some resistance. I think Ben has a really good point there in terms of like it's just a little bit unknown, and so it's like it might
what do you think the difference is between resistance from something that looks slightly different versus creating interest in something that looks different and people want to, that they see something, a screenshot of one of these posts shared and it looks different to another social network, therefore people get excited because it looks different and it feels different?
I mean, that's the magic bullet right there. If you can answer that question.
I don't necessarily think that users get excited because things look different. I think they get excited because they can do things different.
Okay, all right. I think that is overwhelming. I think I like the way it kind of dips in. So I think I may move it to the left and then have the username in the bottom part. But yeah, I'll give it a go and I'll share it on the next one. Cool. So yeah, the actual question I had, if I can stop sharing my screen. So I have converted my app to a PWA. There is a really cool plugin here, and I hope I'm allowed to do this. I just popped it in the chat. So there's a really good YouTube video on how to convert it to PWA. You basically put it on the page, fill in the details, and it's all good. The bit that's a bit confusing is the service worker part, because they didn't include that in the video, because the video, they've updated the plugin since they made the video to include the service worker stuff. Are you familiar with service workers and how that works with PWAs? Are you able to help with that?
I've done it once and it was a while ago. I was doing it in order to enable offline functionality. And so the service workers that I had to put in were very different. But yeah, let's run through that together. I think that would be a good process. PWA is definitely the future of apps. So let's do it.
I think my aim with it is my app is so big, but a lot of the stuff that makes it big is static element. So being able to cache a lot of that would make the app a lot quicker to load when you open it.
Right. And PWAs kind of do that automatically. So if let me pull open an app that oh man, I'm going to show like my history here. This is a very, very old app and it's not very nicely designed. So don't judge me. This was like at the beginning of me learning how to code. I've edited it since then.
History, that's fine.
Sorry?
As long as it's not your browsing history, that's fine.
My browsing history is safe. Don't worry about that. All right, here we go. Let's get in here. So the PWA that I've installed here is on the settings page. I think it's under general. There's maybe it's not general. There's a spot where you
SEO.
upload. Is it SEO? Meditates. There we go. Yeah. Here's my service worker. So I just uploaded this service worker and you can see cache name, my site cache v1. It doesn't matter what you name it. And then you just add an event listener for install and an event listener for fetch. That's all it is. It's just a file, a sw.js file that you upload into here that says this.
That's exactly what I've got. I think that's saved in the plugin page as a S3 link to exactly that.
Yeah. And is it not working for you, or what's going on?
So my understanding was you had to specify what elements you actually wanted cached. Otherwise, it doesn't actually cache them.
Yeah. So that was the aspect that I tried to get into, but Bubble would cache them for me when I tested it. they were caching it. So like, I'm not sure if we can name those things specifically. The other portion of that is that Bubble is server rendered and not client rendered, and so caching doesn't necessarily do the same thing.
Does the conversion to PWA not store some of it on the device side rather than the server side?
It stores some of
the offline mode works, right?
Sorry, say that again.
Surely that's how offline mode works, because it stores it on the mobile or PC rather than on the server side.
Yeah, so Bubble doesn't do any data. It doesn't save anything from the database on the like in the app or anything like that. You can sometimes get it to, like, if you're using the app, the way that I got it to work was if you're using the app, if you open the app while you have an internet connection and you open up all the tabs that you need, and then leave the app open, like don't close the app, like actually go into your app drawer or whatever and like actually close it. If you don't do that, it will run fine when you don't have an internet connection, which means that everything's cached. And then when it syncs back up to the server, it'll send all of the requests and everything to like get all the API workflows and everything done. It'll all do that fine. But if you don't open it, but if you close it at any time and then try to reopen it, then it doesn't work. The offline functionality doesn't work. And so I actually invested a lot of time and resources into researching how to do this. And I found that if you want to be able to like have offline functionality, which I don't think is what you're trying to do there, but if you wanted to do real offline functionality, you'd need to add a JavaScript, like a minified database. I think the one that we were talking about in the Slack, if I pull that up here.
So one thing I've been, and this is what I was trying to do, which was convert to PWA and then wrap it into a mobile app. Obviously, the mobile wrapper is locally based on your device, and then the actual site is just being loaded in effectively an iframe within that. Is there a way to store the cache within the mobile wrapper rather than storing it within the web page? So that way it would load really quickly every time you open the mobile wrapper, because it would have everything stored within it.
I think that's an after hours question that's really complex. I think that's something that maybe we can explore together. But I don't think it's very easy. I don't think anyone's figured that out yet, to be honest, because there's on YouTube and everybody who's offering all of these PWA videos or whatever, they never mention that specific thing. It's always like, you can do it, ... But I don't think anyone has actually implemented it in a meaningful way yet. So we can explore that in after hours, if that's okay with you, Calum.
Fine. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
After
Awesome.
hours are exclusive to members of ProNoCoders.com. Go sign up today.
Awesome. Thanks. So we have Ben. Ben, do you have a question here for us?
Not right now. Can I loop back around if that's all right? Basically, I'm just not sure what issues I'm having that are actual issues due to the new responsive engine, and what issues I'm having because it's 5 a.m. and I'm struggling.
Okay. All right. Well, we can have a look at that maybe when we come back around then.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks.
And then we have the circle. Is that Adam?
No, that's Calum.
Oh, Calum is the
That's
circle.
the name. Yeah, that's
the name of the app. Okay.
That's how I
Literally.
share my screen.
I see now. I have another one called circle. It's my circle with a Q. All right. Never mind. Perfect. I guess Thomas, or unless Brittany, do you have another question? Did it work?
Brittany? Oh, she
Okay.
might be away from her
comes back.
computer.
That's fine. So Ben, I guess it comes back to you then.
Well, that was quick.
That was really quick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This may be very like rudimentary, like very early, but I'll show anyway. So I have this set up so that on page load, it's supposed to show basically this page, like it looks like this. So I've got the apps view is dashboard, and the apps dashboard is brand. And then if I go in the workflow, apps view is dashboard, apps dashboard is brand. But when I actually do it, it just looks like that, doesn't show what it needs to show.
For hide and show. Okay, let's have a quick glance here. So you have it when it's brand, it's showing that. So what's the state? Can you check the state on your page in the inspect?
Yeah.
Where are you storing the state?
I store all the states on a page level.
On the page? Okay, so check the page in the little drop down there.
That is the page. So
Okay, and then so the dashboard state is brand, capital B. Is there a space after it?
Not that I know of. No.
Okay, and then is there a space in the default? Because is it defaulting to that, or is it after you click that it shows brand?
What do you mean? Sorry.
So the state, what's the state on by default for dashboard? Is there a default?
No.
So when you load the page, how is it not empty?
Because I've got this little thing saying when the page loads.
Oh, I see. Okay, and here is there space on that?
No.
Brand?
No.
Okay, do go ahead back to your app. What's the name of the group? Click on the drop down and then grab the name of that group that should be there, but it's invisible. Do you know the name of it?
No, let's go back here. You mean this group here?
Yeah, that should be showing. Brand DB.
Yeah.
This element is visible and it says yes. And you can't scroll down your page, hey?
No. So it's not beneath it. Yeah.
So it's saying it's visible. Okay, what happens if you just make it visible? Like ignore the condition, just make it visible. Group brand DB if you just make that visible.
So you mean visible on page load?
Yeah. So it's just not visible at all, hey? So can you go into inspect again and then look for group brand DB? So it's saying it's invisible. So what, oh, it's parent group. Check its parent group.
As in this one?
Yeah, so go back to the bubble editor and then check what's the parent group of the brand
Well,
brand
there's
group
this one,
DB.
which is the overall dashboard, and then there is this parent group here.
Is that main dashboard showing?
No. There we go.
Okay, and then you'll have to update the brand, or I mean hiding the group brand DB again, because I made you make it visible again. Yeah.
So cool. If I go, yeah, awesome.
Awesome. Sweet.
So it was just
Excellent.
the outer group, wasn't it? The parent group.
Yeah, the parent group was hidden. That's why it couldn't show. Awesome.
Has
Perfect.
anyone come to a workaround on this issue yet? The
No, have you been checking the forum post that
yeah,
Pablo
I
sent
sent
over?
through a bug thing as well. They said they're working on it, but I thought someone might have come up with something.
Yeah, we gotta wait. We gotta wait for them to solve that one. Unfortunately,
Okay,
wish there was something we could do with that, but no, nothing
cool.
yet.
Thank you.
Yeah, all good. Do we have any other questions? I think Brittany, Thomas, Calum, Ben again. Anybody have anything else you want to add?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. So basically, I'm kind of going back to those two questions. So I'm going to share, but the formula was right. I went to my Stripe, so I'm going to just share so it'll be easier.
Okay.
So when we added on that multiplied by 100, it charged the wrong thing. So the formula was actually right because it was only supposed to charge the user $37.50. And
Okay.
so it charged them extra. So I took that off. And then I went even further to see what was actually going on. So really, it's correct on Stripe. So it's giving the $40 instead of the 40 cents. So it's actually sending that. So basically, I think what happened was the message, this part is wrong. I didn't
Yeah, that's exactly it. I knew that Bubble
Yeah.
charged in dollars. So Bubble, honestly, it's Bubble's problem here. I wish that Bubble said that the amount should be in cents as well, because they
Right.
are artificially multiplying it by 100 and they're not telling you. And then when you go to
Right.
return the number, you're getting cents and you're like, what the heck?
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the issue with that. So I'm just going to fix that. Now, the other question is something that I realized in this portion where we fixed here. I kind of wanted it to show the date and not like in 7 days or 7 days ago. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't know if we can maybe later find something maybe to say Friday at 1:40. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Oh,
don't know
we
how to.
can do that. I can share that with you. I just thought
Okay.
that would, like, most apps, messaging apps have something like that. But if you want to show the date, yeah, let's show you how to show the date. That's easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to inbox. Oh, and I needed to change it on this one. So just because I haven't changed it there, we can use this one to do.
For sure. So you have the conditional there. So set up the conditional.
Mhm.
And you're going to do when the parent group messages creation date. Oh, sorry, backwards. It should be the other way around. So current date. So grab the current date and time. Minus.
Just type it in.
Yeah, minus.
Oh, I've got it. I see it. Sorry.
All good. And then parent group messages creation date. Format as days, greater than 1, or I mean greater than or equal to 1, right? Because you're saying after one whole day, or you want it to be the next day.
Yes. So say if I sent the message today and
I see. So at 12, so if you send something at 11:59 p.m. and then the strike hits or the clock hits midnight, you wanted to say, Friday at okay. So in that case, let's think. So we just take the current date and we're going to compare the current date and time, and then we'll click on the minus sign. We're going to change that minus sign to equals rounded down. And then round it down to the day. And then if that is false, so is no, rounded down to day equals rounded. Parent group's message, creation date. is no. Oh, it's going to give you the opposite. Hold on here. So the current date and time equals rounded down to date. So it's going to give you a yes or no, but it's not allowing you to choose is yes or is no. Let's do formatted as number. And then change formatting for yes to be 0. And then formatting for no to be 1. We're just going to swap it, use a little hack. Yeah, close, and then click more. And then we're going to do, so formatted as number is 1. I guess we didn't need to flip them, but in fact, let's unflip them because it's going to be confusing if you try to do any changes to that. Change format. Yeah, change that 1 to be yes again, and then formatting no to 0.
Okay.
Yeah, and then close, and then is 0. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. And then, yeah, and then in that case, change the text and then to the full date.
Right. Well, parent groups message creation date, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it. If I wanted to add the time to that as well, could I just put another conditional here, maybe, and do parent groups message?
I wouldn't do that way. I'll just do it on the creation date. So click on creation date, click format. Click more now. Yeah, you want the second one. Click more and then formatted as. Yep. Okay, and then change it to custom. Yeah. Custom. Very last one.
Oh, gotcha.
And then you're going to use the custom format. So remove all of that. Okay, and then you want to show DDDD for the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
One more D.
Oh.
Do you want to show the whole D? Like the whole Friday? Or just fry?
Probably just fry, like the...
Okay, then 3D. 3Ds.
Okay.
And then comma, and then, yeah, you can see as you're typing, you can see it on the, like in the text field, it'll show you what it's going to show. Yeah.
So I want to do D and then let's day. So M would be month. I don't want that. So what's the next?
Space. You need a space.
Okay.
And then D. That'll show the date as a number, and then space. And then and then M will give you the number of the month, and then MM will give you the number of the month with a leading 0. So MM again. And then a third M will give you a shortened version of the month. And then a fourth M will give you the full month.
Okay.
And then if you want the year, it's YYYY.
I don't know if I want to. I don't know. Okay, we'll see. But that gives me, yeah, that'll work. Okay, thanks.
All good. Yeah. You should make sure it works. Double check it.
Got you.
So maybe move that element. Yeah, copy that element into the other one.
Let's put it there. Yeah, because that would be something I sent today. Yep, it does. Got it.
That was sent today?
No,
the other one. Yes, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So how would I get the time?
We forgot to put the time in there.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that custom one. And then change the custom. Yeah. Custom format. Yep. And then use space. And then you want hours, so that's an H. And then do you want it to be 24-hour time or 12-hour time?
12.
12. So I think that's HH. So one more H. No, that's not right. Is it 1 p.m. there?
Yes,
Okay.
it's like one.
Okay, that's working. 24-hour time is a capital H, I think. Yeah. So the way that you have it right now, or that you had it before, was right. With a lowercase h is 12-hour
Oh,
time. Yeah.
gotcha.
And then colon for the split up, and then not semicolon, colon,
Oh,
and then capital M, and then space, and then you want the PM is
yes.
TT. There you go.
Okay. Gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that should show properly now.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
Awesome. All right. Are there any other questions that you have, Brittany?
No, that's it.
No, that's it. Okay.
Mhm.
Sweet. Okay. So it's open game for anybody else. Any other questions that we want to get to today?
I've got one more if you've got time.
Oh yeah, we've got time.
Okay, cool. So my question is around, oh, actually I fixed it. Sorry, while we were waiting, I fixed it. Just responsiveness in repeating groups, but yeah, no, I worked it out. Sorry.
All good then. All good. All right. So thanks, Ben. Calum, do you have anything else? Thomas?
Nope. I think that's from me.
Nope. All right. So I guess that will be the end of office hours for today. Thanks so much, everyone. We will be back again here on Monday. And now it's time for after hours. All right. Stop recording.